Greetings, cinephiles. Are you looking for a movie analysis podcast that stands above the rest? Then look no further than Collateral Cinema, the only movie podcast that matters.
We analyze good movies, we analyze bad movies, and yes, we also analyze the in-betweens of the world of cinema.
So if you like what you hear, find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts.
And yes, my friends, we are 420 friendly. So when you listen to us, smoke it if you've got it. And now, here's a new episode of Collateral Gaming. The show starts right now.
I'm Ashley Chancellor.
I'm Zachary Gio.
And I'm Dan Rockwood.
And this is Collateral Gaming with
Victims and Villains.
Welcome to Collateral Gaming, the only video game podcast that matters, where we focus on good games, bad games, and everything else in between in the world of gaming. We are podcasting across the United States, and yes, my friends, we are a 420 friendly podcast, so whatever you have, smoke it if you've got it. And welcome to our season finale, well, part one of our season finale, I should say, covering finally the Nintendo Switch 2. Oh my god, guys, I am so fucking excited. I don't know about y'all.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think the build up to this console was fantastic. I think the release has been great, if not a little lacking, but we'll talk about that later. But the console itself, the performance, the way the games look, everything about it does not disappoint. I've played a lot portable as well, and I love to take this thing everywhere. It's great.
Yeah, I did not pick up a Switch 1 at launch, so when the Switch 2 was coming, I knew I had to jump on it and wanted to be part of those launch day sales for sure. And yeah, I've just had a great time. I've primarily been playing it docked. It looks great on my TV. Everything has been running super well, but I also, like Zach, just love taking it with me anywhere I go. I've played it at the dentist office. I've played it at the doctor's. I've brought it to work with me. It's just a great little console to have, and I've been paying a lot more attention to it than I have my Steam Deck lately. So it's definitely a nice competitive little machine there.
Hell yes, brother. And joining us, of course, as you heard, was Mr. Dan Rockwood. Always a pleasure to have you on, man.
Always a pleasure to be here. Thank you for including me. And this has been, this is what I look forward to in console launches, is to be able to just enjoy new video games with people I love. And that's what we're doing here. So I'm really excited to mostly celebrate this console. If you guys have any downsides or anything you want to talk about, we'll cover that too. But I think it's been pretty positive for all of us here. We've all been having a really good time with it.
Yeah, You mentioned before we started podcasting, Dan, that it had been like damn near a year since we had actually spoken, and that's kind of weird, considering the fact that it feels like we just had a conversation over podcast. And I'm glad that we're finally getting to reunite, especially on a subject as awesome as the Switch 2. I felt like this console was burning in the back of people's minds for at least like 3 or 4 years, just speculating on what Nintendo was going to do next. And now that we have it, it's kind of amazing, the sheer power that this thing has. You also said something about you haven't been really paying attention to your Steam Deck. I saw all the comparisons and tech demos and stuff like that, and I'm like, there's just no way Nintendo packed so much power into one little tablet.
I know.
So it's kind of nuts.
Yeah, it's the epitome of Obadiah Stane in Iron Man 1 going, Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave. And that's what it feels like when people look at the Switch 2.
It's a box of scraps.
And Steam's like, I'm sorry, sir. I'm not Tony Stark.
I'm not Tony Stark.
100%. I'm not Tony Stark. But it's just it's been so much fun. It's funny that Zach, you mentioned that this has been burning in a lot of people's minds for some time. We've known the Switch One has been aging. We've known that they're working on new hardware. There were rumors of a Switch Pro for so long. But it's really funny to me that you talk to people like us and people listening to this podcast. We are tuned into the industry.
Yeah.
We are looking at every release, every direct, every bit of news that comes out. Recording podcasts about this stuff. We're talking about it. I guarantee you there is a fairly significant portion of the population that's walking into Target, Walmart, whatever, seeing a Switch 2 on the shelf and going, "Oh, I didn't know Nintendo was making a new console. That's surprising to me." So it's funny to have the people like us who are so dialed in, but then at the same time, there's just a lot of people who have no clue this thing even exists, or if they didn't, hopefully they do now. But it's funny just how the marketing kind of finds its audiences where it needs to be.
Yes, it does.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and this launch has actually been really interesting to me because we expected it to be like the Switch 1 launch. We expected it to be like the PS5 launch. And Nintendo actually, they came in clutch. They actually anticipated the demand, and it was selling out in some places, but not in others. And so there was day one, people who basically bought this console on a whim. They just saw it in the shop. They weren't really planning on it. Unlike us, it wasn't something they were having to like financially prepare for, but I guess they had enough money laying around, to just, okay, let me just go ahead and get a Switch 2. So the fact that there were still enough on shelves, but that Nintendo was able to sell that console as well as they did, because isn't it like the fastest selling Nintendo console now or something like that?
It's the fastest selling console, period. of all
Right?
time.
I didn't want to say that because I wasn't 100% certain, but that's what I was thinking was the fastest selling console of all time.
Yep.
That's incredible. And the haters are gonna seethe, man.
Man,
Oh, dude, I'm actually really hoping. I'm sorry, Dan. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm actually really hoping that this console surpasses the Switch 1, the DS, and eventually the PlayStation 2. If this console succeeds in beating the PlayStation 2 out in sales, dude, I'm gonna lose my mind. That would be incredible. And honestly, with the games that are coming out, I mean, we're getting Donkey Kong Bonanza next Thursday.
Yes, we are.
With the games that are coming out, and I think there's going to be a direct next week too, which is really exciting. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but the sheer amount of content that is coming out for this console is going to make it one of the greatest gaming generations ever. I mean, we got Cyberpunk 2077 on launch, and it looks and performs beautifully.
Yeah.
It does better than some PCs, like lower end PCs do. Like,
Apparently, actually looks even better than it does on the Series S.
oh, dude, yeah, for sure. And it runs better, too. I'm pretty sure. I think on the Switch in performance mode, it gets like 40 FPS, which doesn't sound like a lot, but higher-end PCs struggle to keep a steady 60 with Cyberpunk because of the vastness and the detail that's been put into Night City. And the company that ported this to the Switch 2 did an amazing job.
Well, I'm gonna stop you there though, because that's actually gonna be a big talking point of our next episode. And I have played Cyberpunk, and I'll play some more before we do the episode. But actually today is we're gonna do part 1 of our season finale, and we're mostly gonna be covering Mario Kart World this episode, which was kind of the pack-in title. I didn't feel like there was going to be enough to talk about for 2 episodes, so in part 2, we're actually going to be kind of our console review, where we'll go more in depth about our feelings on the Nintendo Switch 2 as a whole, the actual console, the specs, and everything, as well as we'll all kind of take our turns with the set of launch titles or titles released in June and July that we've all played, and kind of just do a quick review of each of those. So look forward to that. Before we jump into Mario Kart, though, I did actually want to ask you guys about your experience buying this console. And
man.
just the whole shebang, from pre-order to launch day. Why don't you go ahead and start us off, Dan?
So I'll start by saying I bought 3 of these consoles, so that's fastest selling ever. I might be contributing to that. But all right, so when they went up, so my birthday is April 23rd, and if you all remember, midnight, April 24th is when pre-orders went up for this thing. So I got to celebrate my birthday all day, and then I stayed up, and then at midnight, I had Walmart, Target, Best Buy tabs all open and just refreshing, right at midnight. As you guys know, I work with a site called Tech Raptor, so I was on their Slack. It was a group of us all trying to get the Switch 2 consoles, which was the first time I had ever experienced that level of camaraderie at a console launch. So like that was really cool as well. The websites were not working, and if you guys were there at midnight, I'm sure you will remember that it took a long time for some to even release their inventory. There were some that you couldn't really get. I think Best Buy, for me, it was like a half hour later when they finally, the pre-order button appeared. But I was struggling quite a bit, but I was able to get my pre-order in at Target. And I was extremely happy about that. Tried to get a second one in. I always like to get two just in case one gets canceled, and I wasn't able to get one that night. I was able to get one through Nintendo a couple weeks later. I got that invite to order directly through them, so I ordered one through them. And both Target and Nintendo did not give me accurate delivery times. So I didn't know if I was getting this launch day. I didn't know if I was getting it the week after. I really wanted this thing on launch. So the night before, I'm calling GameStops trying to see if anyone does a midnight launch. I wasn't able to get through to any of the stores in my area. So I end up going to sleep. But I wake up at 5:30 a.m., my local Target opens at 7, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go to Target and see what they have. So I grab my a beach chair. I grab a book. I go camp out at Target. A few people were already in line, and I was probably number 5 or 6 in line. An employee comes out, gives everyone a ticket for the console they want to buy. They had about 60 of the Mario Kart World bundles, and then 60 of just the consoles. So I got my ticket for the bundle, and then I walked into Target that morning, and I was able to buy one. No pre-order required. They had it available. I imagine they continued to have them throughout the day with that number of consoles available. So that was the one that I have and I own. The one that I got through Nintendo was delivered later that afternoon, and then the one I got at Target was delivered the following week. I was able to sell those two consoles to friends of mine at cost. I am not a scalper. I don't believe in or support scalping.
God bless you.
So I just gave, I had my friends pay me for those at cost. One I gave a little bit of a discount to because he just paid the $500 flat rate. So I covered the Massachusetts sales tax, not a big deal. But yeah, it was just fun being able to get these consoles into the hands of people who were not able to be up at midnight, refreshing their tabs, who did not have the energy to go camp at a Target at 5:30 in the morning. So it was nice kind of being able to play the video game Santa Claus during that time and hand these out a little bit. So that's how I ended up with 3 consoles, 2 of which I ended up selling. And then I've got my one right here, and it is just a wonderful, super great console. Joy-Cons are great. Games are fun. I've just been having a blast with it, and it's been such a good time. So yeah, that was kind of my launch experience and kind of how that happened. Smoother than the PS5. But I will say I got 2 PS5 pre-orders the night that they went up, whereas only able to get 1 Switch 2. So in that regards, the PS5 was actually a little bit easier for me, but I know that is not true across the board because there's a lot of difficulty with that. So yeah, the Switch 2 launch was great for me, and I had a lot of fun with it.
Hell yeah, man. Fucking A. And Zachary, what about you?
So I actually had a surprisingly smooth pre-order and launch experience. So when they finally, after all the tariff BS that happened, and they finally announced that they were going to be doing pre-orders, I immediately was like, okay, let me call in sick to work so that I can go and get a pre-order. So on April 24th, I got my ass up at 5 a.m. and I took a lawn chair and some Gatorades to our local GameStop. And there was not a soul in the parking lot. So I get there, I put my chair right next to the front door, and I see that they have 61 Mario Kart bundles and 40 standard bundles. So I'm like, okay, I'm first in line. This is great.
Yeah.
And and so I sit there, and the next guy shows up like 30 minutes later, and within like an hour, there was 20 or 30 people in line. And to be honest, we had such a blast sitting there. I brought my Switch 1, so we played some Smash, we played some Mario Kart 8, we played some Mario Golf Super Rush. It was a really, really fun time, and I made several friends in line. And I pre-ordered the Mario Kart bundle, of course. I pre-ordered the deluxe case, the camera, and I got the 1 year the Pro controller, the Switch 2 Pro controller, and I also got the 1 year warranty for the console. And on launch day, or the day before launch day, so June 4th, the GameStop here that I pre-ordered from had an all-day pre-launch event where they started at like 2 p.m., where they were going to have a food truck. They had trivia and games and prizes. They had Super Smash Bros. Set up. They had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe set up. And I got there after work around 6 o'clock. But it was thunderstorming, so they had to cancel the food truck. And so they just had a vendor come inside and sell food. And so I actually won the Nintendo trivia. And that was really cool. I thought that was awesome. What surprised me is the most questions that I got right were questions about Pokemon, a series that I have never played a single game.
Wow.
I've never played a single Pokemon game, never seen any of the cartoons, never seen any movies. I got lucky with my guesses. and the prize was a $200 gift basket full of health foods and like protein shakes. And I was just like, are y'all trying to tell me something here? So, and midnight came, and I was third in line because of how I arrived at the store. I waited, I got my stuff, I went home, set it up. The coolest thing about it was the system transfer and how easy it was to transfer all of my data and stuff. And so I got to test out Mario Kart World, and then I went to sleep. And I have been absolutely loving every second I've spent with the Switch 2. I've gone through almost the entirety of Breath of the Wild, the Switch 2 edition. It is one of the most gorgeous games ever. And I've started a playthrough of Tears of the Kingdom. But because I'm a crackhead when it comes to Rocket League, I've been playing that primarily. But I love the Switch 2. I was very happy with how easy the launch was, especially amidst everything that's going on in the country right now, the tariff situation that delayed pre-orders. I was very blessed to be able to get my pre-order and my console when I did. So I'm really happy about it, and I can't wait to see where the future of the console goes, because hopefully, if the rumors are true and we get a direct next week, we're going to see some pretty heavy hitters, including Metroid Prime 4. And I will stop there for right now.
You're good, bro. Yeah, that was interesting experience for all of us, I think. Now, for me, this was I think this actually was my first time actually buying a console at launch, because I didn't get the Switch 1 at launch. I waited a while, and I didn't even play Breath of the Wild until then. So that was like the first Zelda game in years that I didn't get on day one. Even though I had
Shame on you.
Even though I had a Wii U, I think I was just adamant on playing it on Switch 1. So it was a few months after. But with the Switch 2, I knew like already. I was like, well, we got the podcast. We have to cover this. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make sure that I get that day one. So. Like you guys, I was a little flabbergasted about the delay in pre-orders, because I was ready to go and I was going to go ahead and get it as soon as it was available, and then we didn't even know exactly when that was going to be, and we had to wait, and then finally they announced the pre-order, so I'm like, okay. So I put an appointment in the calendar, I think literally either that morning or the previous day, so that I could be a little bit late coming into work, because I work at the mall, and there's a local GameStop there. So I figured I'll just get in there early. Like, I can actually get in the mall before it opens. But it turns out it opens earlier than I thought it did. But I was like number 4 in line for the pre-orders. So I was like, okay, good. And I secured the pre-order, and I was really happy about that. I did make sure to go ahead and put in the calendar to take a whole day off on June 5th, because I wanted to spend all day with the Switch 2 as soon as I got it. So I wasn't able to get it at midnight. The GameStop that I ordered it at wasn't open at midnight, but the convenience of it being in the mall, which is within walking distance from where I live now and also where I work, was too much to pass up. So, oh well, I didn't get it at midnight, but I got it, first thing in the morning. I walked over there. The line on launch day was considerably longer than I remember the pre-order line being. And this time they made us wait outside in the heat until somebody complained, and they finally let us stand in line in front of the door. But inside the mall. But yeah, I mean, both the pre-order and the launch were very smooth. No real complaints. Nobody stapled the receipt to my console box.
Man, I can't believe I'm saying this, but yeah, you're lucky. You're lucky you didn't get a staple in your console.
Bro, how many times did that happen? I saw that and I thought it only happened like once or twice. That's insane.
I thought it was just in one GameStop in particular.
I think it's one store, but I think it happened to multiple Switch consoles. So
yeah.
Bro, I hope that person got canned so hard. Oh,
you know what? GameStop made a meme about it. I saw it the other day. Aren't they selling the stapler now?
They're auctioning off, the damaged console and the stapler. It's so absurd.
You know what? Way to go for them for handling that as well as they could once that went viral. Because I mean, what else are you gonna do? Laugh about it? I mean, I'm sure the person who did that got fired.
Honestly, and Ash, it's funny you mentioned not getting the console at midnight, but going in the next morning and getting it and making sure you had time to play it and everything. That's a fun side effect of getting older. Not to say that I can't stay up anymore, because I definitely do, and for certain games I stay up till midnight. But especially when I'm covering games, if I have work the next day, it's like, okay, I can stay up till midnight, and then I play until, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and then I go to bed. And finally a flip switched with me where I'm like, I can just go to bed early and wake up at like 5 a.m., and then I get 4 hours before I have to log on to work at 9. So it's actually, I get more time with the game if I don't do the midnight launch, and if I just play it, early the next morning. That's assuming I'm getting a digital copy, which I usually do for most games these days. But yeah, it's just funny how the time, like, I play it later, but I ultimately get to play it more than if I picked it up at midnight.
That's a good point, actually. I mean, when we're getting older, it's getting harder to do things like that, to be able to stay up. And I don't know, I can pull an all-nighter when I need to, but it does get harder.
I was going to say, that being said, when GTA 6 comes out, I am getting a day off from work, at least a day. I'm ordering pizza, I'm getting soda, and I am just going to be probably midnight to 5 a.m. just marathoning that.
Fucking A.
It will be so good, and maybe we'll see that game on Switch 2. No, not a chance. No way
it's not going to happen.
2.
Probably not.
We might get a GTA 5 port.
I think they should.
That is within the realm of possibility. We're not getting GTA 6 though.
No.
Yeah, one game that I do hope we see a port of, and this is just a quick little sidebar. I really hope that we get a port of Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Yes,
because I think that the Switch 2 can definitely handle that game, and I think it would run beautifully. And I would love to be able to play that game again with a fresh account, especially anywhere I want, because of the portability and the 1080p screen and the 120 hertz refresh rate. It's really nice.
Yeah. No, that game is an honest, like, prime candidate, and I played through that on Game Pass, so I would happily buy a copy of the game and support the developers at Sandfall.
Absolutely.
If they release a Switch 2 port, that would be amazing. But today we are going to be focusing on Mario Kart World. So this is basically like the launch title, the pack-in, the one that came with a bundle. And if you were smart and you don't care about the fact that it's a digital copy, you probably got the bundle with Donkey Kong, because this game is $80 digital, $90 physical, I believe.
No, it's the same price.
Is it
physical.
okay? Okay, good.
Yeah.
I
That's
I was
just a
gonna say,
rumor.
don't proliferate that rumor any more than
I'm
it
sorry.
already has been. Yeah,
how dare you, Ash?
$80 if you buy it physical or digital, or just get the bundle and then it's $50. Everyone's making such a big deal about Nintendo's making $80 games. Okay, it's one $80 game, and if you
Yeah.
buy the bundle, you get it for $50. It's a non-issue that people have been complaining about for a while, in my opinion, and it's great. And I got the bundle, and I'm playing this great game for $50.
Yeah, the bundle's the easy choice, unless, you're a stickler for physical games. And there are very few games on the Switch 2 library that are actually physical releases and not just like codes. So, if it matters enough to you, I mean, yeah, I've seen a few people actually shell out the full price to get the game on physical. And if that's your shtick, that's fine. I don't really care so much. I am buying as many physical games as I can. Anytime a game comes out that's a physical release, an actual physical release that's on the cartridge, I'm gonna go ahead and buy that from my local GameStop, and that's what I've been doing. But with this game, nah, for $30 more, nah, that doesn't matter that much to me. In fact, it really doesn't matter at all. But anyway, so $50 is a no-brainer, and I mean, honestly, there weren't too many actual like Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive launch titles. I think it was just this, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, and Fast Fusion. I think that's it. The only two.
Oh, and the two Nintendo Switch 2 editions of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, which include significant upgrades.
Right, but I mean, I'm talking about like full new games that are Nintendo Switch 2 exclusives.
Yeah, okay.
But I mean, if we're counting those, I mean, Yakuza 0 Director's Cut and Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD are also remasters of games, but exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2. So you had a few options, but Mario Kart World is that's the big one, right? That was the big launch title, and honestly, yeah, why don't we go ahead and just get into like our general thoughts of the game?
Okay. Well, I can start us off if that's all right.
Yeah.
So I have actually had a lot of fun with Mario Kart World. I think I've played more Mario Kart World than I have any other Mario Kart game combined. I actually really love this game. It's a game that I have played quite a bit with my wife. We have done and won every single Grand Prix, every single knockout tour. We've done Rainbow Road, the whole 9 yards. And honestly, this game, from the smoothness to the wall riding and rail grinding, the use of items, the ability to dodge and dash under blue shells, and the open world free roam, it is just an absolutely awesome experience. I think that it's a little lacking for content right now, but as they did with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I'm pretty sure over the span of the Switch 2's life, they're going to keep putting life and love into this game, and I think it has the potential to be not only the best Mario Kart game, but one of the best racing games ever. I think it's a really fluid, really smooth game with awesome shortcut abilities and just secrets that you can constantly find. You can unlock more, P buttons around the free roam world with updates that they do, and I love all the character costumes and stuff like that. I've just been having an absolute blast with this game. I'm not a big racing game fan too, so that speaks volumes to the quality of this game, and I really appreciate the effort and the love that Nintendo put into it, as well as the homage that they've given to the fans, the love letters that they've written with the soundtrack. The soundtrack is absolutely phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
From the ground up, they have remade and remixed every single Mario track that has ever been released. My absolute favorite is a tune from a track that was on Mario Kart 8, and that's called Dolphin Shoals. And I love that track so much. But on Mario Kart World, they just went above and beyond with that and so many other tracks. So I'm really happy with where it's at. I can't wait to see where it goes in the future, because they're just going to keep pumping content into it. And I love it. Of course, when other games come out, those are going to take up my time. But any chance I get to play this game with friends, I'm going to take it. My wife and I went on vacation to Virginia Beach to spend time with family, and I think I spent a good 20% of the time just playing Mario Kart with family. It was a great time. I loved every second of it. I thought it was going to be a mistake bringing my Switch 2. It wasn't. It was a great choice, and we had an absolute blast. So I'm loving Mario Kart World, and I'm excited to hear y'all's take on it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Zach, my sentiments mirror yours very closely. I also have been having a blast just playing multiplayer. My wife and I will play all the time. She has her profile on the Switch too as well, and so she
Same.
will load up on her own profile to unlock the costumes and everything and explore kind of on her own. And then when we play together, we usually play multiplayer on mine. But it's just incredible how smooth this game performs. I've done a good amount of stress testing of playing online, both in Grand Prix and in Knockout Tours. Ash, you and I just the other night played online for about an hour. We had game chat going. We were talking to each other. I was sharing my screen, and there were no noticeable performance dips whatsoever with all that stuff going on.
No.
So it's just such a cool thing, and Nintendo is definitely not known for their robust online infrastructure, but I feel like this time around, with the way the games are performing, even with 24 online racers, the fact that they have an Ethernet connection built into the dock now that we didn't get until the OLED was released on the Switch 1, there's just a lot of information there that is telling me that Nintendo is kind of moving in this direction. And I think a big part of that, if you look at the makeup of Nintendo, and part of this is just some, inferring on my part, but I do think that they're getting a new generation of developers in. There's some younger talent coming in, people who are working more on the teams to kind of push some of this stuff in the way that during the Iwata era, it was maybe not as much of a focus. And we can see this in that they the Switch 2 reveal and trailer and breakdown, it's really focusing on the specs, the frame rate, the 4K capabilities. They are now trying to be a bigger competitor, still definitely having their own market carved out that they made with the Switch 1, but they are now internally, I think, focusing a lot more on how can we push these games, how can they look better, how can they perform better, and I think first-party Nintendo games especially are really going to shine on this console, and it's been so cool seeing that showcase happen with Mario Kart World. I mean, it's just a beautiful game that has been so much fun to play. And I imagine, Zach, you've probably played more than I have. I've put maybe 20 hours into it so far. I've gotten gold on all the Grand Prix. Still have a couple knockout tours left I need to come in first on, but it's just been, such a fun experience and such a great time if you have roommates or family or kids you want to play with. Such a great game that is accessible for so many people. It's been so much fun.
I would say I probably have about 50 to 75 hours on Mario Kart with all of the played easily 20 hours in Virginia Beach with the family, and then Danielle and I have explored and done all the races and stuff to the equivalence of about probably 50 hours, give or take. So it's been a great time. I've loved it. It's definitely the most I've ever put into a racing game ever, and I never thought I would say that shit.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, as for me, actually, I'm looking right now, and it says played for 20 hours or more, so I guess I haven't plugged in too much time, but I have been playing this every chance that I get. I've played it with friends. I've played it with both of you online. I've played it couch co-op. My buddy Sam came over. I also, when I came down to the San Antonio area, played with Bo and Robert, and even Hazel played around with us. So, yeah, I mean, I've played this by myself and with friends, and it's honestly a really, really great time. As you were saying, Dan, I mean, I appreciate Nintendo's focus on the specs now, and that really, you can really tell, with both the resolution and frame rate that upgrades that we got. I mean, Nintendo wants to be taken seriously by the gamer crowd, and I'm looking forward to that and seeing that in titles like this. I mean, I don't know what the people that keep on comparing this to Mario Kart 8 and saying that Mario Kart 8 looks better are smoking, because this game looks better at like 90% of the ways that the game can look visually. I mean, the character models. I mean, you can take one track taken with particular lighting conditions and make it look different, or maybe they put a little bit more detail in this area than that one, but I don't know how anyone can look at the two and say that Mario Kart World doesn't overall look better, because it does. I was hoping that we would get 120 frames. Hopefully that'll come in an update later, because I feel like out of any game that could use it, Mario Kart is one of them. I mean, I'd like to play this game at the full frame rate possible.
I definitely agree.
Maybe.
And I hope we get that.
I think we will at some point, but at the same time, I would really only worry about that if you're planning on like going pro and playing online against crackheads across the world that just use every single shortcut, or constantly looking behind them, and only use mushrooms when it's time to take a shortcut. It's like those dudes are literally snorting Adderall before they play this game, and I'm like, it's not that deep.
But see, that's the thing,
Yeah,
though.
those-
Mario Kart can be so much deeper, and I think that's what World has managed to do to differentiate itself from 8. Is it's no longer it's not just a straight upgrade like we thought it would be, but with the addition of the open world. I mean, they've actually like spent time into focusing on, you know, the rail grinding and wall riding mechanics to actually kind of tailor this experience where you can pour your skills in and get good at this game in different ways. It's not just, you know, learning to drift anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. Now you have to learn how to like not drift when you press and hold the trigger, because you can use it to charge a jump to get on rails that can take you to a wall that you can grind to hop to another rail that'll take you to a ledge that'll put you in a position to lap the person in last that's just trying to figure out how to accelerate. It's crazy, dude.
Have you guys seen Donkey's video on it?
Oh, what is
He
it?
did a couple of videos on it.
It's like Mario Kart World is like, I don't know. It's one of them's like a 17-minute video. It's like a retrospective, and then another one is just him getting absolutely BM'd by crackheads online. It's so funny.
It's insane playing online, because when I play against the computer enemies and other racers, usually there's a point where I can get a fair distance ahead, and I'll kind of look behind me and they're pretty far behind. The 24 racers, for the most part, when they're real people, it's you mess up for a second and it's like 12 racers pass you immediately.
Yeah.
Like they're just
Flatten you.
on you constantly.
Have you guys tried Knockout Tour online? That shit is
yeah, dude.
chaotic.
Yeah.
What's crazy
It is
is
chaotic
that
and it is heartbreaking.
You know what's crazy is I will put my money where my mouth is. I've actually won more knockout tours online than I've lost, and it's crazy, dude. But
Wow.
I'm at like, I would say like 6,000 worldwide points versus some people that have like 30 and 40,000 because they just know every shortcut and hit it perfectly every time.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I've been thinking I want to take some time, and I haven't done this yet, which in some ways might be a good thing, because it means I'm doing other things, and then that's good. But I want to slowly like drive through a course and just learn where all the rails are and the shortcuts and where can you
Yes.
wall ride, and just kind of commit some of that stuff to memory and get really stupidly good at this game. But I just have not found the time to commit to do that yet. I could also take a shortcut and just look up videos that show you all that stuff, but there are enough secrets in this game. I feel like I want to experience a good amount of this stuff on my own.
Yeah, and I like that, like the free roam. I mean, a lot people were
Yeah.
complaining that the open world was too. There wasn't enough to do, and I mean, I agree. They could add some more stuff. They could have some like actual races and things and whatnot. But the good thing about the open world, going back to your point, is that you can find those little hidden areas of the tracks. I mean, that's what it's perfect for. Is you can just leisurely go, drive through every single one of these tracks except for Rainbow Row. That's the only one that's not accessible in free roam for some reason. And they're all connected on one big map, which this game takes advantage of. We'll talk about that here in a second. But yeah, you can actually spend time and learn all those little shortcuts, and that's what I really enjoy about it. It adds like a whole other level of strategy to it that Mario Kart has never had before.
Oh, dude, I just watched somebody pull an absolutely crazy move on this playthrough. And this dude's like playing against like high level players. He's in like the 20 and 30,000s. And he just like, he lapped 2 kids because of a shortcut that he took, and I'm just like, dude, how?
Yeah.
So
Dude, the videos
it's
are
nutty.
insane.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, bro. The amount of shorts I see in a day of people just doing crackhead shortcuts to the exact same tune, it's so funny. I'll just be scrolling on my phone and I'm like, well, that kid does ketamine. That's insane.
Is that what I'm missing? Okay.
No, the open world is awesome because most of the P switches that you can find will literally show you how to execute a shortcut just in order to clear it.
Yeah.
It's really cool, and all the Peach medallions that you can find really allow you to get the full immersive experience of the open world. I've been in here playing a game, and I'll hear Danielle scream because she'll mess up one of the P switches. There was one in like one of the dessert courses. I forget what it's called, but she worked on it for like an hour, and when she finally did it, from my chair I hear, "Yes, I did it!" So I was like, "I'm proud of you, baby. You go." So
That's amazing.
but she's been playing.
Yeah.
She's been loving Animal Crossing on the Switch because it doesn't lag now when there's so much stuff on your island. And she actually just got 5 stars for her island, so I'm super proud of her.
Awesome.
But
Hey,
she's
that's
loving the
amazing.
Switch too, just like I am. There was a point where she had a surgical procedure, and while she was recovering, I set up Mario Kart, and we would play together while she was laying in the bed.
Aw.
And so I really love the Switch too, and just everything that it's doing. Dude, I can't wait for Prime 4. And I hope that at some point they bring Samus to Mario Kart, because they brought Link to Mario Kart 8, and I know that they probably don't want to do like a Nintendo Kart, but I mean, you've got Donkey Kong, you've had Link. Why not bring in Samus?
They
Come
have
on.
the inklings in there. Like it's
Yep.
Super Smash Kart. Let's just
Let's
go
do
fully
it.
commit. Let's get
Bring in
Sakurai in
Peach.
here.
Or not
make
Peach.
it happen.
If this game
Bring in
has
Pikachu, dude.
if this game has the shelf life that Mario Kart 8 does, which by the way is still making money, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that game was released originally over like 10 years ago. But if this has anywhere near that level of shelf life, I mean, we can look forward to updates, DLC, and I think that's going to be their opportunity to drop in those other Nintendo characters. At the very least, they need Diddy Kong in. It's kind of a surprise that he's not in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that to me is disappointing, but I think they're waiting to drop him when Bonanza comes out next week. Which
Yeah, that'd be perfect tie-in.
I think that game is going to slap so hard because it's made by the same team that Odyssey was made with. And to be
Yeah.
honest, I am just so excited to see how that game goes.
Dude, me too, actually. And I've never really played Donkey Kong, to be honest, but it looks like it's taking some cues from, what they did with Super Mario Odyssey. I mean, I was already seeing that. And yeah, like you said, apparently it is the same team. So we'll definitely talk about it here in our next episode because part 2 will be out by the end of this month. So we'll cover
Yep.
we'll cover Donkey Kong and a few other games. But I mean, as for Mario Kart, I mean, I know one thing that was a point of controversy was that they changed the character models because they're Nintendo and they don't reuse assets. They reworked all the characters from the ground up, and a few of them, even including Donkey Kong, got redesigns. What did you guys think about the character models in the game and their designs?
So I have felt this way from the start. Ash, I've actually expressed this to you. Yeah. I despise what they did with Donkey Kong. He looks like he looks like he's got feathers, man. I don't like it, dude. He's supposed to have fur, not feathers. And also the way that they like conjoined his eyes, it just looks weird. It looks goofy to me. And to be honest, I hope that it'll grow on me, because I know when Sakurai releases another Smash game, that's the design they're going to go with for Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
But the Rare design is just so good. I don't know why they changed it. It just doesn't make sense. But hopefully it grows on me. Every other character I don't have a single problem with. I think the game is gorgeous as a whole.
Yeah.
I like how you can race with Pauline. I like how you can race with like baseline characters like Shy Guys and Piranha Plant and Cow.
And
Come
the
on.
cow from Moo Moo Meadows. and Moo Moo
The
Farm.
cow from Moo Moo Meadows, dude, and the little animations that the cow does when you trick with him are so funny, dude.
I know.
It's so goof. I love it.
The characters are a lot more expressive. I think actually that was the reason behind the Donkey Kong redesign, is they said they wanted to make him more expressive.
Well, I hope that they nailed it, because right now I'm disappointed with him, especially the fact that he dabs at the beginning of every race. It's like, bro, come on. That is a joke that's like 10 years old at this point. Like, why are you doing this to us?
True.
Come on.
I don't know. I definitely have not played as Donkey Kong yet, I'm pretty sure. So I need to spend more time, get a closer look at the design, because I don't have strong opinions on it. But I'm also seeing him, when he passes me by, going super fast on these levels. So I'll have to take a closer look at that and see kind of how it is. But a thing that makes sense to me now that didn't make sense to me like 15 years ago when I first read this is Nintendo, unless they're doing a direct sequel like, say, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, they're using the same engine, they reused assets, and they were able to do all of that. They don't really reuse models or things from game to game, and that includes games where I feel like there's opportunity to be able to do that. Like in Smash Brothers, Sakurai famously builds from the ground up every Smash Brothers game, and they do the same thing with Mario Kart. And when I learned this, again, 15 years ago, I'm like, that's crazy. How different can Mario Kart possibly be? You have all the characters, all these races, everything, like, just bring that over and update it for a new console. But I now get it, going from games like, Mario Kart Wii to Mario Kart 8 to 8 Deluxe and now Mario Kart World. There are a lot of differences, and there are things they add, and there's, new levels that they want you to be able to fully experience and explore, and have these different, engines and physics and stuff like that. And so it makes more sense to me now, and I get Mario Kart World being built from the ground up. But it's definitely something that you realize it very quickly, I feel like, when you drop into a level or when you drop into that open world and see how much time and care has been put into this game. There's a lot there to experience and to explore. And I do like the open world. It's a little lackluster for me in parts, but I also have had fun exploring it, and I've seen how much joy other people are having, particularly when, like, my friends' kids are just driving around the open world having a great time. It's like, okay, this is what makes this game accessible, and you don't really have to do the open world if you don't want to. There are some unlockables there that you could, go for, but otherwise you just want to jump into races, cool, they have that. You just want to do Knockout Tour, great, they have that too. So definitely one of the more accessible games that Nintendo has, which I think makes it a great launch title for the Switch too.
Definitely.
Let's go!
A brand new entry in the Mario Kart series is launching exclusively on the Nintendo Switch 2 system. Welcome to this vast world. Kart races are held throughout various regions that span the globe. Depending on the time of day and weather conditions, the atmosphere will change. And in this Mario Kart game, you can go off the racetrack and drive virtually everywhere in this world. In the classic Grand Prix, race through 4 courses in a bid for first place. But don't sleep at the wheel. You'll also drive to the next course as part of the competition. With 24 drivers in each race, the most in series history, the competition is gearing up. Introducing Knockout Tour. Race non-stop from one corner of the world to another. There are multiple checkpoints along the way. If you're below the placement shown when you hit a checkpoint, you'll be eliminated. Can you make it all the way to the finish line? You can also freely drive around this vast world in free roam. By going off-road, you can explore new areas and routes. So drive wherever your heart takes you. You can also go for scenic drives with friends, and even take photos together at different locations. A brand new race across the entire world starts here. Mario Kart World! The game launches on the same day as Nintendo Switch 2.
Well, and see, people buy Mario Kart for Mario Kart. I mean, you're already going to sell just being the next Mario Kart game. So the free roam aspect is really just kind of a bonus when you think about it. The core experience is still, getting through the Grand Prix and the new Knockout Tour mode, which I really, really like. I didn't get it at first, but the whole idea of locking, players out behind gates, and so the race gets smaller and smaller, and it's just a straight shot through multiple courses using this open world that they've created. Actually really appeals to me. I love that.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think that with what they're capable of with the open world, I think they're hiding something that they're going to release, and I'm excited for that. I don't know what it is, but hopefully they don't wait too long and it's too late, because you've got people that are already losing interest in the game. And I genuinely hope that they give this game the same love and care that they gave to 8 Deluxe, because 8 Deluxe at the end had 96 courses. It was crazy, dude. I never got the booster pass for Mario Kart 8, so I had all the base courses. But I thought that game was really cool. And if I was into Mario Kart when Mario Kart 8 was out, like I am now, I would have had such a good time.
Yeah.
But now we just have to wait and see what World has for us,
It has the structure definitely for just a lot of additional content. I mean, and like you guys were saying, I mean, the open world can feel a little lackluster at times with there not being, so much to do. I mean, really all I would add is just let's have some spontaneous races that you can get into. I mean, I know some of the P-switches have the timed events, and sometimes they'll throw some other carts in there, but actual races, hey, maybe just make it to where you can optionally access the Grand Prix Cups and Knockout Tour rallies from the open world, and let you just kind of explore and find it. So, but you don't have to if you don't want to. But it's like you said, Dan. I mean, it's just you can completely ignore that aspect if you don't want to use it. And at the end of the day, I mean, the big catch here is that what they've done is they've created all of these tracks and put them together and a way that you can access all of them from one world. And so that's even been brought into the game's other modes. Like I mentioned, the Knockout Tour will take a specific path through certain courses. And this, you can take these same paths in the open world. They're just kind of like these interim levels between races. So like the first part of every track is going to be like that interim stage. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I've seen people they want a mode where you just play like the level, like the tracks, and do your normal laps like in previous games. But I think that could be a cool update someday. That would feels relatively easy to do. But I love the riding on roads and dodging cars and going between levels. That's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. And just, with the new traversal options, it just makes that even more fun. And they've managed to take tracks that were previously kind of dull and actually, like from previous games, and actually update them with, just the new mechanics. So, I mean, yeah, it's a shame that we don't have, like, the hover, the hover bikes
the anti-gravity
and carts.
stuff. And
The anti-gravity stuff from Mario Kart 8 or the paragliders from the previous games, but I think the reason why those got removed is so that there's a focus on the grinding and the wall riding, and just giving players the option to just try out those and see what's possible. And so it can make online quite a bit more sweaty, but it also just adds new just another layer of tactics and another way to get good at the game, even if you aren't, particularly good in the other conventional ways. By the way, I meant to mention this earlier, but I did actually win first place in an online knockout tour earlier today, and I was feeling pretty proud of myself for that.
that is impressive.
Hey, dude, it is impressive, dude. Yeah, dude. Knockout tours, man. I feel like the first couple of laps are actually the most intense. Well, obviously because there's the most people, but that's also where people are the most ruthless.
That's what makes the online version of Knockout Tour just so brutal, is that it's 24 players that are out for blood, because if they don't beat they get knocked out. So but
oh yeah, dude, it's nuts.
And I like that it can be, because you have so many more players now, that you can have 24 players on a track together. It makes the items a lot more interesting too, because the way that items are distributed has changed with the increase in the number of players. You can actually be pretty high up and still be getting some of those lower items that you would normally get when you were in dead last, and conversely, if you're in the first few places, you're going to get a lot more of those coins and picto boxes, whatever the fuck those things are.
Picto boxes. You've been playing too much Clair Obscura, dude. Oh man, yeah, I'm excited to see where the game goes. I think that there's a lot of potential. There's already some absolutely nutty things that have happened online. Like right now, I'm watching a montage of some of the most crazy moments, and the sheer amount of BSing that you can do with this game for shortcuts is just wild.
Yeah. It's been absolutely insane, and I feel like this was a really smart choice to have as a launch title. It is a universally beloved franchise that I think will attract a lot of people. It will definitely motivate some people who really want to play Mario Kart with their families to pick up a Switch 2. There are people like us who would probably get a Switch 2 anyways, regardless of what was available at launch,
right.
Who would probably want to pick up the bundle. So that was really good. But also, looking ahead, what the next several years will be, I do think we're going to get another Animal Crossing. But Animal Crossing, I mean, there are people, a lot of people who will buy a Switch 2 just for the new Animal Crossing. So it makes sense to release that 3 to 4 years in when sales slowed down, and then you can start to see that uptick instead of having it as a launch title. A new 3D Zelda, a new 3D Mario. These are all things that people will then decide, okay, now it's time for me to buy a Switch 2. And I do think every 6 to 12 months, we're going to get some kind of tentpole title that will help push the sales even further, which will be great for people like us who already have our Switch 2s, and then we can just pick up our games and enjoy them.
Yep.
And I think that's something I had mentioned before. One of the reasons I got this game and this console at launch was I want to be able to enjoy it for as long as I possibly can. I want to be here for every release and get excited for every release. And Zach, you had mentioned the tariffs earlier. This might be one of those console generations where consoles could potentially get more expensive the longer you wait. So that was another reason when I bought it at launch. I was like, this might be the cheapest it ever is. The Nintendo Switch has never really gone on sale. They do bundles for Black Friday where they include games, but I've never seen it under that $299 price point, and I feel like it's going to be a similar situation here. So I didn't feel like I was, missing out on a deal or anything by buying it at launch. I just feel like I'm going to be able to, play these games and enjoy them and have a good time with them. And Mario Kart World has been such a great time so far.
Exactly. And you haven't even taken into account the fact that within like 3 or 4 years, we're probably going to get like an OLED version of the Switch 2 that could potentially perform in 4K handheld, and it could, I don't know, it could cure cancer. We have no idea. But that's just gonna boost prices even more. And it's probably gonna launch for about $550 or $600 while the regular Switch 2 remains at that same price. But people are gonna want it. I'm gonna want it. If that happens, I'm probably gonna get one, and it's gonna boost sales even more. And why are they gonna lower the price if it's successfully selling at that price?
Look at us, the bootlickers.
I know.
When you have, I mean, it's a pretty clean, tasty boot. I'm gonna be honest. I'm enjoying everything that we have so far, and there's just so much to come. We're getting Donkey Kong Bonanza next week. We're probably getting Metroid Prime 4 later this year. For Pokemon fans, Zeta A comes out later on this year. There's gonna be another 3D Mario. You know it's coming. And they're probably going to hint at the next 3D Zelda like you were talking about. And it's just going to continue raising the hype level. And then I don't even want to think about what Nintendo's got in the pocket next. Because how do you get better than what we have now?
Splatoon 4. That's the answer. Splatoon 4.
Speaking of Splatoon, this side game that's coming out, this spin-off Splatoon game that's coming out, that's going to boost people's interest even more.
Yeah.
People are going to be looking for consoles. I wouldn't be surprised if they were hard to find come Christmas time because people are just eating them up.
Yeah. And I think despite Metroid Prime 4 coming out on the Switch and Switch 2, I think a lot of people will be inclined to get a Switch 2 for it. Just because, like us, to be able to play that in full, a full resolution and at the 120 frames per second, that's...
I can't wait.
Yeah, that was honestly like my biggest justification for the console was I know Metroid Prime 4 is coming out very soon, and I mean even though that game it is available on Switch 1, it still is like the game I think that it most justified the purchase for me, and just knowing that's happening this year.
I swear to God, we're going to see the trailer for it next week, dude. I'm telling you, we've got a Switch Direct coming, and it's going to blow people's minds.
I hope they fucking announce the release date soon, because I'm trying to plan our fucking next season.
I mean, we still have Elden Ring coming out for the Switch 2, and you bet your ass I'm going to get a copy of that. Because I love Elden Ring. It's fantastic, and I really hope that it runs well on the Switch 2, because, I mean, it's a beautiful game, and I never finished the DLC, because I wrote it off immediately.
And we're getting a From Software title exclusive to Switch 2 as well.
And I also want to put on there, sorry to cut you off, Ash.
Oh, you're good.
Because I was going into this, we've got 007 First Light.
Oh, yes.
Which is also coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, and it's bringing Bond back to Nintendo where he belongs. I mean, GoldenEye was
where he belongs.
GoldenEye was such a staple for the 64, and it was my first FPS ever, and I remember hating that game at first because I sucked. And I can't wait because it's the Hitman team that's making it. And it looks fantastic because Patrick Gibson, the young man that they cast to play Dexter in Dexter Original Sin, is Bond. And he sounds and looks phenomenal.
Hang on,
and so I'm really excited.
I didn't realize that. That makes me really excited because I loved Dexter Original Sin. I loved him in that.
Yep.
He's gonna crush it. That's so cool.
Oh, for sure. I love dude. It looks so good. And the fact that the PS5, I watched these side by side. So I have a 1440p and a 4K monitor, and I put both trailers side by side, same quality. And I watched the PS5 trailer and I watched the Switch trailer, and I started them at the exact same time. They look the exact same. And I was just like, there's no way. This is going to be amazing. Because day one I'm getting that game. And I know we're going off on a bit of a tangent here, but that just shows how powerful the Switch 2 is. And it shows the capabilities and just the sheer excitement that this console is going to bring, because we really don't know what this console is capable of. And I think we're going to see a lot of that over the next year to year and a half. It's going to really unleash when we start getting these first-party titles, especially the ones that aren't releasing for the Switch 1, like Donkey Kong Bonanza. We'll see how it runs next week, and I'm looking forward to it.
I'm interested to see what games that were specifically designed as Nintendo Switch 2 exclusives are going to look like. Because even Mario Kart World was apparently originally developed as a Switch 1 title. So just to see like the scope of what's possible when they're on, planning for this hardware day one, I mean, that it's going to be insane just to see absolutely everything that's capable of. But I mean, even with Mario Kart, I think they got to a point where they realized the scope of their game relied on the Switch 2 hardware. So, like that's really what they were able to do with this, is elevate and bring to life the concept that they were that they had envisioned. Because a video game is never going to be exactly what everything that you want to put into it, right? There's going to be limitations.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
So the fact that they were able to take advantage of this new hardware, which is a significant upgrade. I mean, the haters aren't even bothering to do the research on it. I mean, call me a bootlicker or whatever, but I mean, at least get the facts straight, because I mean, this is a console that is in some ways performing even better than the Series S on certain titles and in certain aspects. So I mean, yeah, the future is bright, and I think that this is a justified purchase, honestly, if you're just, wanting to have a console for the next 5 to 8 years, and and you enjoy Nintendo's catalog of first-party titles, especially. So
if you don't, you're wrong.
That is the
people that hate on Nintendo.
The final
people that
verdict.
hate on Nintendo. Yep, if you don't enjoy it, you're wrong. People that hate on Nintendo really just don't appreciate the vastness of the creativity and the sense of wonder and adventure that goes into it. Everybody's just like, Call of Duty! And it just like, come on, dude.
Well, and there's been some discussion about, them being greedy or whatever. Aren't all companies greedy? I mean, come on. But I mean, really, like the things that people are talking about, like they mentioned the fact that Nintendo can brick the console if you mod it. Well, yeah, I mean, that's actually kind of a very basic, that's very standard in the industry since at least like the PS3 era.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's nothing new. And I mean, I don't really have any plans to do anything to my Switch that would cause Nintendo to brick it. So, I mean, it just doesn't really affect me at all in any way. If you want to modify a console, and I mean, first of all, I mean, aren't most people emulating on PC anyway? But if you want to modify a console, use old hardware. I mean, that just sounds like common sense to me. Why would you buy a brand new Nintendo Switch 2 and
unless you're a content creator and you've got the means to buy multiple, or you've got the means to purchase multiple consoles just because you have curiosity and you want to see how it works. Don't get just one that you want to play your games on and then mess with fate, dude. Nintendo is not gonna let that crap fly.
Yeah, exactly.
So
no, definitely not. So I think I can tell the story now because it's the console's out and everything. But it's I'm
just kidding.
So PAX East back in May in Boston, I went to, and I had the opportunity to demo some new games of Square Enix and meet with them, and they had the Bravely Default remake running on a Switch 2, and this was a few weeks before release, so I had the chance to go in and check it out. But they were very, very adamant. They were like, no pictures of you can't take any pictures back there. They literally had it behind a curtain you had to go behind. No pictures, no video. Don't post anything about what the console is like capable of. Like, you are not here to review the Switch 2. You're here to talk about the Bravely Default remake. And I was like, okay. To the point when I went to go check it out, they had the Joy-Cons like in the grip, so I was able to play the Joy-Cons, and they also had a mini game that you could use the mouse controls, so I got to test those out ahead of launch. But the system itself was underneath the couch, like hidden from view, and to the point where when I wanted to try a different game mode, they had to reset the Switch, and they made me like walk behind the curtain so they could go like pull out the console to do all this stuff. So that's not just Square Enix. That was Nintendo telling them like, this is how, you know, specific you need to be about it. The other thing I will say, and this might be controversial, and but again, I think it's safe to say, Nintendo specifically laid out only members of the media could demo the Switch 2, not content creators. And I thought that was a very interesting distinction for Nintendo to make in this particular media thing. So there's a couple behind the scenes glimpses of the industry, if you will.
Wow.
Well, I mean, content creators not being allowed to do it makes sense because obviously they're going to post that stuff for clout, and the world wasn't ready at that point to see the Switch 2. Well, I mean, they were ready, but they weren't allowed to because it's not out yet.
Yeah.
And you know somebody's going to, you know, make a shady move or break a rule just to be funny, or because you got people like that in the world that will ruin the experience for everybody just because they feel like they are superior and more important.
Oh, man, people were. I saw the haters online like bitching about the fact that Nintendo made it so where the Switch 2 isn't actually playable until the day one update comes out. So even if you got an early Switch, you couldn't play it. And I was like, well, why wouldn't they? I mean, this is their launch, and they don't want people to, you know, experience it before they're ready for the worldwide launch. I mean, that. I don't really see an issue with that. That makes sense from a business perspective. Like
so much of the negative feedback we've seen is either about non-issues like that, or people who just, I don't know what you expect. Like, this is kind of an anomaly for Nintendo. They've never just done a straight up sequel to a console, unless you count something like the Game Boy Advance or from the DS to the 3DS. But they've never just...
Or the SNES.
Well, the SNES, I mean, that was different enough. Like, yeah, they added Super. This is the first time they've straight up just put a 2 at the end of their console and sold it. And I've seen complaints of like, oh, it's just a slightly better Switch. It's just the same console. It's not. Those people either have not played the Switch or don't understand the tech behind it enough to be able to appreciate what's going on there.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like the haters aren't even bothering to really educate themselves like on the specs or what it's capable of. They're just like, oh, it's the same thing as the Switch. Why? Because it looks the same. I mean, it's like the same people that say like, you know, the iPhone is the same thing every year. Well, I mean, it's got a brand new processor, updated specs, new features. The only thing that's really the same is it looks the same. Is that all you're talking about? People just have this weird fixation where they expect the next iteration of something to look radically different. And I'm like, why? I mean, if a form factor works, keep it around for a couple iterations at least.
And in fairness, people, I think, got accustomed from Nintendo going from SNES to N64 to GameCube to Wii. Like, every iteration was vastly different from the previous one. And in this one, it's like, yeah, Switch 1 very well could become the best-selling console of all time. It makes sense to me that they're just going to continue this because clearly they found a thing that works. There's a huge industry in mobile PCs now and in Steam Decks that really took off because of the success of the Switch. So Nintendo started something here, and they're going to continue riding it until the industry changes and until the market tells them that they got to do something different. But given how the sales are going, and I think within a couple weeks after launch, the numbers were 3.5 million sold of Switch 2. So it's
within a week, dude. That's the craziest.
It's insane. It's
I love it.
Lifetime sales are going to be crazy.
I think so. And I mean, you know what? They only have to surpass like 12 million to beat out the Wii U, which I love the Wii U. I still have my Wii U.
Me too.
It's a great console. But the Switch 2, I think, is going to have a lot of success and a very bright future. And we're going to see some really cool adaptations on this console of existing games, and I also think that we're going to see a couple brand new Nintendo franchises get launched on this as well.
Definitely.
So we'll see what they're cooking over there in Kyoto, and what they're going to come up with.
They tried to start a
Absolutely.
new IP on the Switch, one, if you guys remember ARMS, which nobody played or talked about ever. So, yeah, I hope they have more success this time, developing a new IP, because, I'm looking forward to it. There was something else I was going to say, and now I forgot, but...
You're going to talk about how sexy I am. I understand.
It's been hard to talk about the Switch with you on my screen. It's just distracting is what it is.
I was going to ask you, Dan, since we're doing a podcast right now, do you play Smash at all?
I do play Smash, yeah.
Dude, we should definitely hop. Ash, you too. We should definitely hop in a private arena and just go crazy.
No,
'cause I love Smash
go
Brothers.
for it.
Dan and I were literally just talking about this last night, I think, whenever it was either yesterday or the day before when we were playing Mario Kart together, and we brought up Smash, and I was like, oh no, Zach is a fucking monster when it comes to Smash. Like I've played couch with this guy. This he absolutely will murder.
It would be my honor to get my ass kicked by Zach, so I think we should definitely do that. That would be a lot of fun.
I'm actually working on my Ganondorf currently.
Oh,
Very nice.
Ganondorf and Captain Falcon.
My favorite character to play, who is one of the worst characters if you're a competitive Smash player, is Little Mac. Love my Little Mac, but you will never see him by people who take Smash seriously. And I've talked to a couple like semi-pro Smash players, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he's no way, no verticality. His recovery sucks. Like he has way too many disadvantages." But I just love how he punches. He's such a great character.
well, see, and like there's a thing to be said for that in a video game like that, like you can find your one character and just learn to master that character. I mean, that's kind of what I do. I almost never pick the character that's like the best from a certain standpoint or the easiest for beginners. I pick a character and I master that character because they're my main. And the good thing about games like Mario Kart is you really don't even have to worry about that. It literally just comes down to personal preference. That is actually one thing I wanted to ask you guys about was who's your main on Mario Kart World?
Mario.
I
I don't actually really like playing with anybody else.
go for Peach for the most part. Sometimes Rosalina, but definitely Peach.
I'm a Luigi main. In fact, Luigi main is what I've always been in Mario Kart, except Mario Kart 8 had Link, so Link was my main in Mario Kart 8. So I really hope they bring back Link. But Luigi is kind of my go-to other than that, and especially with the recent Luigi Mangione situation, it just feels so much cooler to be playing as him, and to get the full like Italian effect, I wear the gondolier outfit.
Oh, amazing.
It's about those Italians.
Yeah.
That's racist.
You know what? The French are cool now too, for what it's worth, because of Expedition 33. But all right, so yeah, just before we wrap things up, I did want to know what you guys' mains were. Also, did you guys have any particularly favorite tracks, whether new or the implementation of returning tracks in this game?
So I'll be honest. I think that the Great Question Mark Ruins is a phenomenal track, but it's just so freaking difficult.
Yeah. I think my favorite track is probably Rainbow Road. They just did such an amazing job. It's so beautifully created.
Dude. No, I wanted to talk about that. Rainbow Road in this game is phenomenal.
It's so good.
Oh, it's one of the best iterations.
And then there's a track that I thought I loved for a while, and then I realized it's like I played it and then I would immediately forget about it, but as I'm playing it, I'm like, oh wait, I actually don't like this track. But then it will show up and I'll be like, yeah, let's do. And that's Wario's Shipyard. If you guys remember, like half that level is water.
I fucking hate that track.
And it's the thumbnail looks so cool, and I'm like, oh, it's like a spooky like harbor level. This is really fun. And then I get into it and I'm like, nah, wait, this kind of sucks. I don't want to play this anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, but just the fact that half of it's in water that
Yeah.
gets an honorable mention as a least favorite track.
And I think maybe I just need to get better at driving over water. That's something I got to do. But
It's a lot slower, but at least you can get jump boosts off of the waves.
yeah, and that's a bit easier. And then there's like a great oasis level, like African outback, and like giraffes and stuff and zebras are moving around. That's a great level too. So there's some really the open world aspect, I feel like, allows them to get a little bit more creative with some of the stuff that you can drive by and interact with. There are dinosaurs in this game. Like, there are dinosaur levels you can go through. Like, it's so cool, and the diversity of the levels has been really amazing.
Yeah, it really is. And you have tracks that are, your standard, three round track, three lap track. But then you have some that are like straightaways, they do really feel diverse. I like the levels, especially like the Crown City levels that have incoming traffic, and you have to weave your way in and out. There's just it adds a lot more chaos to the 24 players that are already on the track. And I mean, some people might complain about the interim tracks as being kind of boring and just kind of straightaways, but they're meant to be transition pieces, and they work to great effect in this game, especially with Rainbow Road. Like I said, I really wanted to hit on that because Rainbow Road in this game is phenomenal. Easily the best Rainbow Road in any game. Since this is a game launch episode, I guess I don't want to spoil too much, and that would probably be the only thing that you can spoil. But the way that they use the track transition from the previous track is honestly just perfect because it builds up that anticipation before that moment where the real track is revealed. And that moment, the music, everything, it was just phenomenal.
Definitely agreed. The first time I ever played it, I thought I selected the wrong track. I was like, this isn't Rainbow Road. This is weird. And
this isn't Rainbow Road. This is crack cocaine.
Well, it looks like it's just Peach Stadium again. You're like, what's going on here?
I was like, I guess we'll just play this again. But yeah, the way you go into it is very cool. So if there's anyone who has now listened to this whole episode and does not have a Switch 2 and has not played Mario Kart, you're in for a great surprise with Mario Kart and with Rainbow Road. So much fun.
Rainbow Road.
Oh, dude, Rainbow Road. My jaw dropped the first time I played Rainbow Road.
Yeah.
Same here.
I really enjoyed that one, Crown City. And just really just how all the tracks were opened up as a result of, the new mechanics and, the ability to just, charge, jump everywhere and grind and the railways. Also, one I wanted to mention was Boo Cinema. I thought that was a really interesting course. I think that's a new track.
I think so. Yeah, I don't.
Boo Cinema's new. Yeah, dude. It's such a clutch track too. I also love what they did with Bowser's Castle.
Oh yeah. But
Yeah.
I guess on that note, we'll go ahead and get into our final thoughts on Mario Kart World. And like I said, on this next episode, we'll actually get more into the Nintendo Switch 2 console. We'll do a deep dive, and as well as other launch titles. If you guys wanted to go ahead and take it away, we'll go ahead and start with you, Dan. Final thoughts on Mario Kart World.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, if I was reviewing it, which I did not review it, but I'd give it an 8 or a 9 out of 10. It is a great game, really cool update for the Mario Kart series. I love all of the outfits and like the Yoshi Burger, place you can go through and the food and take out and everything. And it's just been so much fun. And I'm really excited that I'm fairly confident that we are going to get over the years more updates, new tracks, DLC packages, everything like that. I'm a little nervous that in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, all of those bigger DLC packages, I had the expansion pack Nintendo Switch Online, and those were just included as part of that. And I'm wondering if that is going to continue with Mario Kart World, or if they're going to have it be paid for everybody. So we'll see how that goes. But I do think that the game that we're getting, as amazing as it is, I feel like it's just scratching the surface of what this game is going to look like 10 years from now. So it's going to be really cool to be here through all the updates and all the stuff that they do to it.
Definitely. What about you, Zach?
I feel the exact same way. Honestly, it would just be reiterating what Dan said because let's be honest, we've got what we have here is like probably like an 7.5, 8 out of 10, but if they add to it like I think they will, I think we've got a absolute masterpiece in game design on our hands with just the sheer ability to move and everything. You've got character models and stuff. It's perfect. There's just so much. It's surface level, like Dan said. It could go deeper and be a perfect game because there's not really any glitches or bugs that I've seen. And the amount of shortcuts and what you can do, it's just really something special.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy with where it's at. Can't wait to see where it goes, and I think that it has the potential to be a damn near perfect game.
Fucking A, yeah. I really think that it has the potential to outdo Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe, which were a massive success for Nintendo. Right now, I think it's a game that kind of stands as a very different experience. And honestly, like, I'm glad for that. It doesn't need to try so hard to be better than the game that came before it. Rather, it's trying out new things. And so that's why, for me, like, I can justify the fact that we don't have quite as much content yet, because we know that it's coming, but they've also built the foundation for a brand new game that's going to carry this franchise for, the next 10 years, hopefully, like Mario Kart 8 and Deluxe did. So, I mean, really, the possibilities are endless. Do I think that the game justifies its $80 price tag right now? Probably not. I didn't spend $80 on it. I spent $50 because I got the bundle, but I wouldn't regret spending that much on it, just knowing what's going to come in the future. But I mean, it's a game that is setting out to not just take the Mario Kart franchise to new hardware, but elevate it to find new directions to take this franchise in. I mean, and that's kind of what I was waiting to see what Nintendo would do, because at some point, the same game but better is going to get stale, and I was thinking, well, what can they do from here? Maybe they should do a sequel to Double Dash, and you know what? I stand by that. I've been saying it for years. I still do think they could do a sequel to Double Dash, and that would be really awesome. But I mean, props to Nintendo for finding a new direction to take in the series without even relying on a gimmick. I mean, the only thing you can really consider a gimmick here are the new mechanics, but they add a level of depth to the game that the series hasn't previously had, and I think that they're going to be a mainstay for at least for the mainline installments. So I'm really excited for the future of both this game and the franchise and the Nintendo Switch too. And I mean, what a great way to start off and show what this console is capable of. So
absolutely, and I think we've probably seen maybe 10% of the power of this thing. I got the welcome tour, but I got like 2% into it, and I was like, this sucks.
You know what?
So I just want to experience it firsthand.
I have some thoughts on the welcome tour, but we'll save it for part 2. But yeah, guys, thank you for being on, Dan. If you want to go ahead and let us know what you've been up to with Victims and Villains and with Tech Raptor, and where people can find you.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, you can find me over at Tech Raptor under Dan Rockwood over there, and you can see some of the latest stuff that I've been writing about and just some of the games I've been covering there. And then Victims and Villains, let's see, last month we wrapped up our Mission Impossible rewatch. So Josh and I over there went through all of those movies, and then we recorded the newest one, The Final Reckoning, and that was super fun. So definitely check out their stuff. I'm going to make an assumption that they're going to cover the new Superman movie that just dropped with James Gunn writing and directing.
So good.
But
you've seen it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it last night.
All right, my wife, my mom, and I are going to see it on Sunday. So y'all don't say anything, but I will pick your brain after we finish recording about how it was.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. This summer is packed with movies, and I know that they've got a good schedule ahead. And I personally should be back on there potentially in the fall for some things as well. So yeah, you can catch me over at Victims and Villains, or just tune in for any of the episodes, even ones I'm not on, because they do a lot of good stuff out there and promoting mental health and helping to get resources for people who need them, and just a great cause. So very, very happy to be a part of what they do over there.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
We have a great relationship with Victims and Villains on both Collateral Gaming and Collateral Cinema. Great work that you guys are doing, and and Zach, are you doing any streaming or anything that you want to plug?
No, not right now. With Danielle's surgery recovery and me in a job transition. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Hell yeah. Well, as for Collateral Cinema, our sister podcast, we did just get out our episode, a new director's cut episode with Robbie Sherman from Conversations with Robbie Sherman on Lupin the Third: Voyage to Danger. So go check that out. And by the time this is out, we should also have out our episode on Mean Girls, which was my pick for the show and one of my favorite movies. So that was a blast. And next we are going to be covering... and next will be our 100th episode and season finale, which is going to be a redux on The Room. And anybody that knows me knows that is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's tied with Spider-Man: No Way Home and The Princess Bride. Those are my three favorites.
What a lineup! Wow,
I know.
Let's do a triple feature of all of those back to back.
Dude, that would be awesome. But I missed the first Collateral Cinema episode on The Room. That was meant to be my debut, but I wasn't able to make that episode. So it'll be awesome. We did do a commentary together, and we have talked about The Disaster Artist and anything else Tommy Wiseau related we could find. But it'll be awesome to be on a proper episode of The Room with Bo and Robert, and I believe we're going to have a guest on that episode as well. So look forward to more content from our Collateral Cinema. Also, we mentioned Superman, and I just watched it last night, and we're definitely going to be doing a At the Movies episode, which has been a while since we've done one. So definitely want to cover both Superman and Fantastic Four this month because I've been looking forward to those all year. So
Hell yeah, brother.
As for Collateral Gaming, our next episode is going to be, of course, part 2 of our Nintendo Switch 2 review. So we're going to do everything that I mentioned before and, just cover the launch of this console in more depth. Apologize for the time that it took to get both of these episodes out. I did kind of want to get them within a month of the console release, but just getting through the backlog of episodes. At the time of recording this, I still have a couple more episodes to release. But you can go check out our previous episode on Bushido Blade. That would be out by now, as well as our look at the Doom franchise. We did a bonus round on Doom Eternal, as we had covered Doom 1993 and 2016 earlier this season, and then followed that up with a game launch review on Doom the Dark Ages. So, again, super late, but as long as it gets out. But after this, this being our season finale, we are going to be getting into our postseason content. So one thing I want to do is our anniversary special. So I want to do a Let's Play on Four Swords. Either Four Swords or Four Swords Adventures, one of the two. Whatever is going to be easiest to get together and get running. But we should all be on for that. And I've extended an invitation to Dan as well so that we can actually have 4 people. Yeah, Dan, if you want to make it, you're welcome. Otherwise, we've also got Bo, but I definitely want to get 4 people on that episode. And Megan will be back as well.
I'll see where I can get access to it and be able to get online and play with you guys. That'd be fun.
Yeah, details to come on exactly how we're going to do that, what game we're doing, and like whether we're emulating it or whatnot. But because is Four Swords even on Switch, the Nintendo Switch Online? I thought it was, but I could be mistaken.
I don't think so, but I will have to double check on that and get back to you.
Yeah, I'll have to check myself. I've been meaning to. Yeah, one way or another, I want to do some multiplayer, and I want to do it with 4 people because otherwise, then we have to do Triforce Heroes, and nobody wants to do Triforce Heroes.
Okay, according to Google, it is available on the Switch Online expansion pack. So I will
thought it
confirm
was.
that, but it does appear that it is. So I was incorrect. When I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. So we'll take a look
good
at
quality to have. But yeah, that's what's coming up next from Collateral Gaming, and we are planning our next season. Originally, Fallout 4 was going to be our season finale, so as of now, that's slated to be our season premiere. So we'll go ahead and announce that now, unless Metroid Prime 4 comes out. Really, it's hard to make plans at all because we have no idea when that game is coming out, except at some point in 2025. So whatever we're doing that month, Metroid Prime 4 is going to take its spot. But
yeah, I think that's going to be a November release. But you know what? If there's a direct next week about it, it could be September. Who knows?
Who fucking knows? But we'll cover it in one way or another. November would be tough because Ghost of Yotei is also coming out that month, and oh my god, they just announced that not only are they doing the bringing back Kurosawa mode, but they're also doing Miike mode and Watanabe mode. Both directors that we've featured on Collateral Cinema. In fact, our anniversary special on Collateral Cinema is our Miike-versary, is Takashi Miike. So really, really awesome that they're paying homage to him and Shinichiro Watanabe, who made the Cowboy Bebop series, among others.
Oh, wow. That is really cool. Yeah, Ghost of Yotei, I think it's early October. I want to say October 6th maybe is when it's slated to release.
Yeah, I think it is October, but I was planning to cover it in November since October's our spooky month. So
yes.
in my mind, I'm thinking Ghost of Yotei, November. But no, I'm going to be playing it in October. But all right, guys, thank you again for doing this episode with me, and I look forward to the next one. You can find Collateral...
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah. You can find Collateral Gaming wherever you get your podcasts. And we'll have links in the show notes where you can find us on social media. Also, check out our merch store on Dashery if you want to get you some Collateral Media swag like I got here. And you can also, not that anyone who's listening to this can see, but you guys can see. Also, Patreon, where we haven't updated in a while, but we do have some commentaries on there. Also, check out the Collateral Let's Play content that we have on YouTube. And here during the postseason, we're going to go ahead and upload some more of that. I've just kind of been putting a pause on it until I get through our backlog of episodes. But yeah, we'll have some Collateral Let's Play content here very soon, and you can find that on both the Collateral Gaming and Collateral Cinema YouTube channels. And if you like what you hear, go ahead and give us feedback on your platform of choice. You can help us rise up the ranks on Good Pods or a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. I think that's just about it.
That's cool that you're, being available wherever you get your podcasts. I think the next step is let's be available where people don't get their podcasts. Okay, I want to go to the gym or the grocery store and have Collateral Gaming right there.
When you go to H&R Block doing your taxes, I want to hear Collateral Gaming going on.
That's
dude.
right. I want to walk into a store and instead of music over the speakers, I just want Collateral Gaming episodes on loop, 24/7.
As you should, and that is the plan. We are 100% planning our expansion into the public consciousness, so just be forewarned.
Good to know.
We're going to have an AI chip that just shows Collateral Gaming, dude.
Well, you know what? Facebook gave us a bot in our Facebook group, Collateral Media, so I renamed it the stupid fucking Collateral bot, and it said that it needed to review that name before it would let me change it, and I was like, okay, there's no way they'll approve it. And they did. So now you could chat with our AI bot, which I've called, I think, stupid fucking Collateral bot.
That's awesome.
And bully it, please. Bully the hell out of the AI.
Man, you guys are going to be taken out so fast when Skynet takes over.
Oh no. And Matt Smith just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. Man, what a reference.
All right. Well, with all that being said, I've been Ryan Gosling.
I've been Ben Stiller.
I've been Tony Montana? That's not an actor, but that's okay.
He's a football player. It's fine.
I love how we all did movie references on a gaming podcast.
True.
I went with
dude.
Ryan Gosling because that's just been kind of my my hyperfixation lately. But
As it should be. As he should be.
all right, this has been Collateral Gaming, and we are out. Collateral Gaming is a Collateral Media podcast. All music and game clips are owned by their respective creators and are used for educational purposes only. Please don't sue us. We're poor.